Solving the problems caused by the price increase as a result of inflation and compensating for welfare losses is the most urgent issue of the process ahead. It is not difficult for us to find a solution to these issues. Confidence and stability are the most important things, and we will continue with these principles. We will build a strong economy around these rules.
The opposition leader did not directly concede defeat and instead called the election the most unfair one in recent years. Kılıçdaroğlu alleged the Erdogan party orchestrated all resources of the state against him.
We experienced the most unfair election in recent years. All the means of the state were mobilized for a political party. All possibilities were laid under one man's feet.
Congratulatory messages for Erdogan poured in from top leaders including US President Joe Biden and French President Emmanuel Macron. Russian President Putin congratulated his, and I quote, dear friend Erdogan as well. However, as Erdogan extends his tenure beyond 2 decades, there are fears that he may steer the nation to a more conservative Islamic path and use his clout to repress the opposition even further. With Radhika Udas, this is Shireen Bhan for CNBC TV18.
And to take this forward, we're now joined by Omair Anas, International Relations Professor at Yildirim, Beyazit University, and MK Bhadrakumar, former ambassador to Turkey. Gentlemen, thank you very much for joining us. Ambassador Bhadrakumar, let me begin by asking you, he has won a 3rd term on the back of high inflation and a country ravaged by the earthquake. Give us a sense how this election result and the voting performance leaves Erdogan electorally and politically in the country.
Well, undoubtedly, this is a very strong mandate because all our eyes are focused on the presidential election. But the fact remains that in the Turkish political constitutional system, the parliament also has an important role. And it'll be very difficult if the presidency and the legislature, the National Assembly, are in 2 different poles apart in their politics. So there has to be a harmony. And when there is a harmony, it's a very strong leadership that the country is getting. And that is what Recep Erdogan had in the previous term, and that is what he is inheriting. So I think we can expect definitely a very strong presidency. And this is also a presidency which will be with a difference in the sense that Turkey is passing through tumultuous times. It is right in the vortex of the regional politics, the Eurasian politics, where it has a historic role to play. Whichever way things turn out in Ukraine, Turkey's position is going to be of pivotal importance to all protagonists. So there is an important situation around Turkey. This is the centenary, of course, of the establishment of the Turkish state. And mind you, this economy factor, when you take it into account, Erdogan had the opportunity to do well on the economic side. In fact, Turkey touched heights of prosperity that it hadn't known previously. So that is not something which is beyond its capability. Let's not forget that the external economic environment had drastically deteriorated. Turkish economy is very much dependent on exports and also on the buoyancy of the European market. These are all factors, oil price, these are all factors, which come into play. And it is not economic mismanagement, as the election results shows that the core of support in the society for Erdogan has not significantly eroded. These are the messages we should get out of it.
Okay. Omair, if I could come to you, in the events, in the run-up to this election, Erdogan had promised a new constitution. Now that he has this mandate, he has come to power for a 3rd term. Do you think he'll press ahead with this reform, with the new constitution? And what will that mean for the regime and for the lives of people in Turkey?
Thank you very much. I don't think that the issue of constitution is that much pressing as of now. Even though he has promised many times in previous elections as well. The reason is that the constitution which is currently in practice was introduced by the military junta in 1981, when which is considered as one of the most overwhelming military coup in Turkish history. So all parties, they wanted to get rid from that constitution because they have many strange articles. So they always wanted to change the constitution. But none of the party had that kind of majority. In this parliament also, Erdogan would need some support from some conservative and some nationalist member parliaments who are now part of the opposition alliance. So I don't see much about constitution to come in coming few years.
Right. Ambassador Bhadrakumar, if I could come to you, Turkey has traditionally had close linkages with Islamabad. Recently, we saw them skipping the G20 meeting in Srinagar as well. A third term for Erdogan. What does this mean for Turkey-India relations? India was also among the first nations. Our Prime Minister was among the first leaders to congratulate Erdogan as well.
Many years, and especially Prime Minister Modi and President Erdogan have invested a lot of energy.
Ambassador Bhadrakumar, can you hear me?
Have personal chemistry also.
Yeah, I didn't know you were asking me. Can I respond?
Yes, sir. Please, sir.
There is no gainsaying the fact, that President Erdogan is greatly interested in a productive relationship with India. His accent has been on the economic side, and the potentials are immense. As you can see, Russia, for example, is a time-tested friend. But look at the way India has struggled over the years. But Turkey has, such solid content in that relationship, despite the fact that it has been a difficult relationship with a Cold War legacy. So you see, Turkey's interest in the relationship with India is not to be confused with the relationship that Turkey traditionally, historically had with Pakistan. Pakistan is a very special country for Turkey because Pakistan is one of the few countries which has gone along with the Turkish intervention in northern Cyprus and stood by Turkey through thick and thin. Only very few countries have done that, and therefore it's a very special feeling that the Turkish people harbor towards Pakistan. It's friendship. They cherish it. That's a fact. But when you come to this particular event which you referred to in Srinagar, associated with the G20, this is to be taken in the right spirit, in my opinion. And, this is not a subject for polemics. Much as, we have a consistent position on Kashmir, that it's an integral part of India, inalienable part of India, and that it is not open to negotiations, and what is the residual issue that remains still. We have our own point of view. Similarly, Pakistan has also its point of view, China has its point of view, and the international community, more importantly, has a certain perception of it. The United Nations has a perception of it. So the reservations is, on the part of Turkey, is to be put in proper perspective. United Nations also had expressed reservations. We can reject it, and we do reject it, and I think we must reject it also. But the fact remains that, that there is a dispute about it, and perceptions vary. And that is where the Turkish position is, and it has been also something very consistent. Now, we have a choice to bring it to the center stage of the relationship or not to bring it to the center stage of the relationship. The fact that Prime Minister has felicitated Mr. Erdogan at an early hour shows that we are putting it behind us, and we have a holistic view of the relationship, the importance of Turkey. Mind you, in the kind of transformation that the international situation is passing through in this transition, Turkey is 100%, one can say with confidence, Turkey is going to be a very crucial player in the decades ahead, in the 21st century. And it is very good that the government of India
That's an important point, Professor.
On this particular aspect of the Srinagar meeting and is looking forward to a relationship with Turkey.
Okay, Professor Omair, what kind of a role now? Erdogan was acting as a mediator as far as the Russia-Ukraine war goes. What kind of a position do you think he will now take now that he has emerged stronger politically, stronger on world stage? And also when it comes to NATO and the membership of new partners, what does, where will Turkey move on that front? Professor Omair, the question to you, Turkey had vetoed Sweden's membership of NATO. How do you think will the position on NATO and membership of Sweden change? And what kind of a role will he play in the Russia-Ukraine war?
Yeah, well, if you see Turkey's role in Ukraine, Turkey's position is very much clear. The main position is that the Russian actions against Ukraine are illegal. The Russian occupation of Crimea, for example, Turkey has been calling every year that this occupation is illegal. And Russian interventions in Ukrainian areas are also illegal. Turkey has been taking this position for a while. Now the issue is that Russia has already attacked and has taken control of a large swath of Ukrainian territory. So at this point, Turkey's best role, which has been coming for a very long time due to very cordial and close relations between Ukraine and Turkey, that Turkey has provided a larger number of drones which have changed the direction of this war. And many countries and many observers who were expecting that the Ukraine will collapse in months or in weeks, it didn't happen. It may not happen in coming months even. So it means that ultimately Russia and Ukraine have to sit together and find out their solutions. And in this dialogue process, Turkey has indeed an important role. And Turkey has been willing and trying
Professor
to
Omair,
achieve
I've
this
completely
goal
run out of time, unfortunately. I'll have to leave it there. I'm really sorry, but I'll have to leave it there. We've completely run out of time, but I'd like to thank you and Ambassador Bhadrakumar for joining us, making those crucial points here, explaining us the economic and global significance of this election in Turkey. That's all we have time for here on Newscentre. Thanks for watching. Goodbye.